परमगुरुभ्यो श्रीमदानन्दतीर्थभगवत्पादाचार्योभ्यो नमो नमः। नारायण परिपूर्ण गुणार्णवाय विश्वोदयस्थितितोलय नियतिप्रदाय ज्ञानप्रदाय विबुधासुरसौख्य दुःख सत्कारणाय विददाय नमो नमस्ते। यो विप्रलिम्ब विपरीतमतिप्रबोधान् वादान् नरस्य कृतवान् भुवि तत्त्ववादम् सर्वेश्वरो हरिरीति प्रतिपादकं तम् आनन्दतीर्थमुनिं नमामि। पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सत्यधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Welcome friends once again to our journey of Kathopanishad. So we are into the very important part of the Kathopanishad where we are trying to find, because how to take ourselves, into a higher realm. Because everyday's life, involves, because our senses and with the sensory objects, we are able to experience the world. When we are experiencing, what is the desire that comes, because experiencing also, you need to have the sensibilities to experience. What we call tanmatras. The objects per se, doesn't provide you any sort of a satisfaction. The pleasure or the purpose behind the object gives the satisfaction. That's what we have seen. That is the entire mechanics of how we are dealing with the world, though we are not aware of it. As we are going through, we are seeing everything and we are getting taken in by whatever is being presented to. But when we are presented to, we are looking into, because even if you, as we have said, if you have seen a buffet spread, you try to pick up what that attracts you and what you would like to, because you have got certain formations in your mind, preferences in your mind. You try to go for that because that is going to offer. You are not going to take everything, in buffet hundreds of things will be there, but you will be choosing about 6 or 7 things, which is your liking. But why it is liking? Because the qualities or the satisfaction which will provide you, that is what it attracts you. That's why in the last 2 mantras what we have seen, the sense is subtle, but the subtle sense is, sensibility is more subtler than the senses. That is what we call tanmatra, the qualities. Sabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, the taste, the touch, and all those smell, everything together, they are the one which attracts it, and we are taking everything together and we are getting attracted. More than the sensibilities, because it is the mind. The mind is the one, which gets all the information, but because it has to decide, because it has to give you a command, which one you to choose the buffet. Because there may be two identical things, because you will be in a quandary whether am I to take this or whether am I to take that, because then sometimes the mind will say, look, you already tested this appears to be something new, why don't you try it and find out, because if you like it, you can take it, it will also satisfy you, something like that, comes to your mind. So likewise, when it comes, it is the mind, because it gets all the information, but it only, it doesn't do anything but other than just giving the sort of impulses to you. But finally, though mind is subtler than the sensibilities, but it is not able to give you the right direction, but it gives you the propensity to have it. But the intellect, which is processing all this information, tells you this one is good for you. I think perhaps they will look at it. It gives you the decision making power. Till such time, you are in a quandary. The manaha is in a quandary, but the intellect gives you the decisive things. But once the intellect says, because that is subtler than that, because sensibility is subtler than the senses, the mind is subtler than the sensibilities, the intellect is subtler than the mind, and more subtler than the mind is the Mahat, the universal consciousness, the universal wisdom, the knowledge which you get from the entire universe. Because the knowledge doesn't come to you as it is because of your experiences, what you have heard from others, or what you have sort of experienced with others in some circumstances. Likewise, it comes. The universal wisdom comes, and the universal wisdom is more subtler than our intellect. That's what the mantras have said. It is like, because when the rain falls, it falls into like a small puddles, and the puddles become like a torrents. The torrents become small rivulets. The rivulets then joins the river. The river finally goes to the ocean. It is like that, because from individual level, when you are going to the universal level, it is all, everything is subtler, because when the rain falls, it is only a small puddle in the street. But when it overflows, because of the gravity and other things, it gets into a rivulet. And when the rivulet, because when finally it has to find its way, who gives its way? Because it finds its way because of the gravity or the position it is in, where the attraction is there, where there is a river and it can go and join. It pulls it. There is a pull and push, both are there. Therefore, in this world also there is a pull and push. So the subtler the one, more you are able to attune yourself, you will be able to pull. But more you are able to you are not able to attune, you will be pushed. This is exactly what happens in the world. So more you are attracted towards the worldly objects, we think this is the world and it attracts. Certainly it's good. We will have to know about everything. We should understand that. But we should not lose ourselves into the object. Once we lose into ourselves in the object, it takes us in. Once it takes us in, you will not be able to come out and find your own mooring, because you are something different. Because once you get attracted and get lost into the thing, then you become what you are not. You are actually something much more. You are something much more divine. You have got much more higher potential. But once you are lost into the pull and push effect of the world, you are being sucked in, you get into the vortex, but to come out of it, it's not that you will not be able to come out, but you will be able to come out, you will have to take more effort. This is exactly thing, because the objects will be changing. But what you have seen 10 years will not be there. In our younger days, we have seen radios, and then tape recorders came, and then CD player came. But no one will look into CD player and all. Now everything is available on your mobile. Now, of course, because the TVs are there, and because the smart TVs are there, it does everything on command. Everything is there. As things change, so you will not be able to, you can't just be sucked in. More you are sucked in, only you will be drawn. You will not be able to, because they are all there. This is again bound to be changing. What you are seeing today, 5 years hence, something more will come. So likewise, these are all the facilities that has come about to make your life easy. As your faculties are not able to work to the optimum, you can take the help of it, but then you should not get lost into that. This is exactly the mantra said, because it is subtler than that. Because once you know that, one of the things, because Swami Vivekananda has said, we have got all great masters, like Sant Tukaram was there, Mirabai was there, Surdas was there, Nirsing Mehta was there, because likewise our Alvars were there, Nayanmars were there in South. All of them were like ordinary beings like us. But how they have become something like that? Because they were able to understand slowly, because they are able to pull themselves out of the entire, the effect of vortex into this world. And they were able to come and realize their real, Swarupa Jnana, what they say. What you are really, because made of. What is your purpose? That is, what your purpose is to take yourself, to realize your potential to the fullest. You will have to flourish to your full potential, because you have been given the potential. God-given potential is there right from our birth. But are we able to do? Because the realization is, it is a sort of everyone's birthright. Birthright, because you have been made in such a way, you can realize your potential, for which you are here and you are entitled to. Not that you cannot be. You have to live like this, because with the dissatisfaction and all. If you live like this, without understanding your potential, you are sucked into this. Always there will be a feeling of lack. There will be a feeling of dissatisfaction. Consequently, there will be a feeling of some sort of unhappiness, brooding unhappiness. You will not be able to describe it. It may not be sorrow, it may not be, it may not be boredom, it is something, like that. It will always take you waywards, because you will always be not keep you in a particular mode, where you will be able to give the best to yourself. You will not be able to give the wonderful time to yourself, because you are such a wonderful being. You need the wonderful time for you, and you have got to be so wonderful, so that you will be emitting that wonderfulness and the happiness all around, because that is what we are designed for. But are we able to get that design? Because that is exactly this mantra talked about. Now we will go to the next mantra, because how we do it, because after all, all these things have been said, and there should be a sort of, because the sadhana for that we have seen. but it is easier, because it's all appears to be, because we say, everything you have to realize yourself, you will find, you are a divine. But have you seen any of these things? None of us, we are able to see that. If you open your eyes, you see the objects. And so everyone says, because you will be able to do only by meditation, because like dhyana, and, because dharana, get into, further, then only. But if you close your eyes, and you will not be able to immediately get into that by practice, because then you will be into the psychological state, whatever was in your mind, whatever, what you are thinking, whatever was occupying your mind, those psychological stream will come. It will be like a hallucination. A person, who is always been thinking about, the great authors and all, he will be getting the vision of the authors. The man who is always been, because engrossed, in the performing arts, you will be thinking of movies, plays and all. So therefore, this goes one after the other, because you will not be able to come out of that. So therefore, it is always said, once you are into the divine, how you are to do, because it is not that, it is by practice, in the sense, slowly when you find yourself, the thought comes, try to see some thought which is not necessary for you at this moment, some thought which is not going to be serving you any purpose, which is not allowing you to focus on the present thing, because if you are trying to read a book, or if you want to make, some recipe, you are interested in, you do it. Or if you are interested in, something to write, or if you are interested in talking to some people and exchanging good ideas, do that. Because then you will be able to do to the fullest potential at that point of time. Otherwise, if you get into last, you will be doing half-heartedly. You will not be able to do anything. Mindfulness is brought about because we are capable of doing everything to the as perfect as possible within our command and control, which is being prevented once you get into the ways of the world. So it is just to make us know that the world is good and world you will have to interact, then only you get the experience. But the experience has got a divine wisdom. That is what tattva. The tattva, whatever philosophy and all, the tattva is deriving from the experience what we have. Once you get ingrained into your brain, you will be able to live the life effortlessly. Like all saints, they have all started like us. Finally, they have they have learned the art. But how to learn this art? This is what the Upanishad says. They were also like us, ordinary beings. They were also in this world. They had all the issues, problems. They have to face everything. They also had, the same attitude like us, but from there they have come out and they have become something like that. This is what Vivekananda says, by constant practice. How it is? Because they have risen to the level of a super consciousness. In the sense, super consciousness is not something, which is not unattainable. It is not something, which is only to be talked about, not to be realized at all. But only thing we will have to understand as a human being, because when we are trying to get into the process, when we are making an attempt, like what we are discussing the Upanishad, that itself is the beginning. We have already made the beginning. We are already into the process. But once, how to take this process forward, that is what the Upanishad says. So now we will go to the mantra number 1.3.12, because very important mantra. This is the one, which says, because basically it says, that what you have already you are looking for, you are searching for, you are wearing a specs, but still you are searching for the specs where you have kept in the house. It happens to most of us, because I have also done something, because it is so light, I don't feel I am wearing a specs, but sometimes I will be looking for my specs as if I have kept somewhere. It is like that. That entire thing is with us, but we will not be able to give attention and realize. That is what is being said about in this mantra. The mantra says, Yesha sarveshu bhuteshu guto atmana prakashate. Yesha sarveshu bhuteshu guto atmana prakashate. Yesha everywhere, because sarveshu, everywhere, including, sarveshu, when he says, including the Brahman, the Brahma who has created us. We saw, Brahma, Vayu, all those, the great gods, demigods, everyone and all, they are also having this, because the power, Yesha sarveshu bhuteshu. Everyone, who is in this family, who has got a farm, everyone, the animal or the plants, everything, bhuteshu, guto atma. Guta is this, it is in the cave, hidden. Because it's not, you will not be able to mine. You will not be, that's a treasure. You will have to work for that. But the treasure, Gudatma, na prakashate, it will not be, it is not lighting up, because you are in the dark room of ignorance. The light will go only when there is a shaft open, small hole if it is open, the sunlight will come out of the shaft, it will lighten up the room. Like when you are in a dark room, you will not be able to say. Once you put the switch on, you will be able to see everything around around the room. It may be a part, it may be a cart, it may be a chair or table, everything you will be able to see. But till such time light is on, you will not be able to see. When we are seeing the world, there is some light which has come into us, that is consciousness. The consciousness lightens up the thought. Otherwise, we would not have been seeing the world and enjoying the world. But we are not understanding what is consciousness or what is the source of that consciousness. So like a sun, if it is reflected in a small pool of water, somewhere, it reflects. The sun is being reflected, you find it bright. But it is not the sun, but it gets because of the sun, it is able to give the reflection and you are able to see the water. And it's also having, the golden color, because the sun rays are golden at that point of time. Likewise, we don't understand whatever we are doing in this world, there is a consciousness which has lighted up our thoughts. By virtue of it, we are able to see. In the laptop, we are able to work on only when the power is there. The power, of course, you have got a battery, it's being charged. If you have got the charge, you will be able to see even if the power is not there. But you will have to charge the battery. So therefore, when the power is there, without that power, you don't get either the charged power or the power that is coming to you, you will not be able to operate. You will not be able to, the laptop will not be able to realize, what is the power. It is simply works because the power comes in and it's got the charged power. Whereas for us, the power is there and you have got a means of just at least trying to understand what that power is. The laptop can't do it. It is insentient, it can't do it. But we have got the greatest gift that is given by Chetna. Chetna is the God has given us the stored knowledge, which has come birth after birth, and it has come, we have also accumulated during this current birth. The Chetna is the one which has got whatever you have learned, whatever your qualities you have assimilated, whatever virtues you have collected, as well as because it also collects all the vices also. It's not only virtues, everything has come. That is how the karma bandha happens. So it all come. When you have that knowledge, when it is lighted up, you are able to enjoy the world and do it and all. But without that light, without that consciousness, you will not be able to work on that. Because the source of consciousness, because there is a different, philosophy says, philosophy is, theistic philosophy says only by bhakti you can do. The other, because the stream like, Buddhism and to the great extent Advaita says, by knowledge you will be able to get them. Once you will be able to knowledge, there is the power behind you, which is making you to act in this world. Once you understand that, you will be able to do that. So likewise, when the power comes, because because of the energy, you are able to work, as you would like to. Because like the laptop has got the input-output system, it has got the camera, it has got the speaker, it has got the mic. Everything gets the part of the power because it's being distributed. Likewise, all our senses, they get the power because the power, if it doesn't come, our senses will also not be able to work. The senses work because of the power, but the power alone is not sufficient. You have an operating system required in the laptop. Likewise, we also require the operating system. That operating system is provided by that consciousness. For instance, your eyes, because why some people may be having open eyes, still they are not able to see, they are blind. Because they may be opening the eyes, but they will not be able to see because the software is not working. The mind, because some people, have some mental incapabilities, some change, because we find, spastic children, we see how it happens. They have got the brain, everything is there, but the software to operate the brain, because that is not. That is why, because there is a very famous book and I have referred to by one Dr. N.S.Ramachandran, who is in charge of the psychoneurology and department and psychoanalytic in University of California, where he is there, because he says, because that you can always have the brain can be practiced to do the function even when there is a deficiency. That's how even the spastic children can also be, because now there are a lot of scientific ways have come about. They can also made it to slowly recover the faculties which they have lost, because it could be congenital, but even they could be brought to a great extent so that they can live in the world more comfortably and all. Likewise, how this power comes, how this who is giving this software and all. Without the software, we will not be able to do anything and all. All this software is provided, and we have been given the energy and all. We have given the power, we have been given the software, then we are working we are functioning everything and all. Now we are trying to find who is that one who has given the power and who is that one, who has given the software for us to rather interact with the world, enjoy the world, as well as learn from the world. All the things it is. That is what Buddha Atmas is. But you will not be able to, because if you when you switch on the light in the room, the bulb glows, you are able to see everything. If the bulb, will it be able to understand what is the power, because it has been worked to receive the power and brighten, that's all. But whereas we have been given the power so that we can work on and see what is that. That is what our Upanishad masters have done. They have tried to find what that power that has come in us and made to act, and we don't have any kartutva, because that is, we are not the one who is doing. That makes us done. If we are an instrument, that makes it happen through us. So this is exactly, they say, eva sarveshu bhuteshu gudo atmana prakashate drishyate. One who will be able to see drishyate. Drishyate is one who will not be able to see. One has to see that, and one has to understand that. One has to sort of have a glimpse of it. Because human beings, we will be able to have the glimpse of that power. A bulb cannot realize, the full potential of that entire power that is coming in. The power is coming from some other source. It is being distributed. Finally, we get, because the share that comes in us. But the power is so vast. It is, because he is Sarvajna. He is the one, who creates the world and keeps the world, and who is also taking care of the world, when it has to go. All those things he does. But once you know there is a power, the glimpses of it, you get it. Slowly, your sort of, your propensity to be attached to the worldly objects, propensity to attach to the worldly experiences, slowly they will come. But you are all learning from the worldly experiences only. From the worldly experiences, you understand, they are all ephemeral, transitory. They are not going to be there. They are ever changing. What you are seeing now, because it may go, after a few years, and it may not be there at all. But then once you come to that, then you understand this is it. So drishyate tvagriya. Tvagriya in tu, in the sense it is God's grace, they say. Tu agreya. That is, it has to be. Then tu agreya ni ekagraga chinta, in the sense. Ekagraga chinta is, you always see, because when you are able to give up the self, it is for me, I am doing it, I am going it. Once you take it, it automatically happens for Griya. Agriya, ekagra, chinta, in the sense, it's not that always you have to be think of the God. You have to be think of what you are doing at the moment. What you are doing, because to the best of your ability, even if you are not going to get anything out of it, even it is not a transactable, you are not going to get any benefit out of that, worldly benefit, but you will be having a spiritual benefit that is, it is far more than what you think, because you will be elevated, in the sense, your mind opens up, you will see the bliss, that is the shaft of light, which otherwise would not have seen, your entire, the ceiling opens up, small opening, through that, and the shaft of light comes, you are able to see that glimpse, you will be able to see that. This Tvagriya is one example I will try to put, because this is what happened between Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Vivekananda. I have shared it in some other occasion also. Vivekananda had a miserable time. See, he was into, because he was such a brilliant man, because he was totally active, he was getting into all philosophies, and he was questioning everything. His ability to question is far too superior. Everyone, because that's why we should encourage our children, even the youngsters, to question what is that you are doing, what is the spirituality. You should not, because detest. Okay, let them ask, because it is for us to learn also and try to make our own understanding more clarified. So Vivekananda had this problem, because he was having and he was following Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He was attracted to him, but he doesn't know what is he doing is all that, because it's all mumbo jumbo, he's not able to realize anything, he says, suddenly he gets into Dakshineswar, the Bhavadarani Kali Mandir, and he says he's there for 6 hours. He says, I was in the bliss of Kali, she talked to me, all those things he says. And Vivekananda asked, is it that Kali only will talk to you? What is so special about it? If Kali has to talk to you, she will have to talk to everyone who is coming into the temple. What is so great about it? Paramahamsa gave a very simple answer. No, she will talk to everyone if you are willing to. Are you willing to talk to him? See, because she will talk to you. Because we can say, he's so great a Mahan, God only talks to him. Why can't he talk to me? But you should be willing to talk to you. How you should be willing to talk to you, because then he said, okay, because you tell me, should I go and talk to her? Yes, you can go and talk to her and be there and all. If you don't, then if you are so sincere, she will certainly talk to you. So it is at a situation when Vivekananda was in a very miserable time. His father, who was a leading lawyer in the High Court of Calcutta, has passed away. His family was in penury. His house was under mortgage. He has got two sisters to be married. He had all the problem like all of us. And then he said, because he called Vivekananda, and he was not Vivekananda, Narendranath. He called Narendra, and because Paramahamsa said, don't be impractical like me. You need all these things now because it is a definite need for you. And who will give me that? Who will accomplish my need? He said, go and talk to Bhavadarani. You ask me, because she has given me what I wanted. You want go and ask her, and she will give it to you and all. So when okay, I will go, and then by the time Ramakrishna was to take a bath in the Hooghly, so he also took Narendran. He took him into the river, and when they were taking bath, he just pressed Vivekananda's head into the water. He was not able to come out. He was just, he wanted to take breath, he just got suffocated. He suddenly came out. What is that you are doing? I just want badly, sort of, at least some air, because I am just, so I feel so suffocated. He said, you must have this type of a desire. She will not come just like that. She was not a casual talker, like both of us, sitting and talking across the board. You will have to have this type of, because perseverance, longingness to talk to her, then she will be able to talk. So Vivekananda, being Vivekananda, he said, okay, no problem at all. Then he said, he went inside the Kali temple and there for a couple of hours. After that, he came and Paramahamsa asked, did you ask her? Did she give you anything? And no, I was there. I just got, because such a bliss, because I just forgot everything and all. I didn't think, I have to ask her anything. I don't have to ask her anything, because she is there, such a bliss. I think, because I don't think, anything else mattered at that point of time. Even this, my own situation, my own family's problem didn't matter at that point of time. He said, don't do like that. And he sent him another time also. He was sent the third time also. All the three times it happened. He went there, he didn't ask anything at all. But then, as the days went by, things sorted out one after the other to the surprise of Vivekananda himself. He didn't ask anything, nor she granted anything. But it is once you get into that, automatically what you need will be automatically be given. You don't have to worry about that. Can't have a greed, but then what is your issue at that point of time, that will be done. So he got surprised. I didn't ask, nor she gave me, but I was just lost into that. I didn't think I have to ask anything else to her. This is where once it happens, because then you cannot be asking for all mundane things. When you are in the presence of suddenly the God comes and asks how are you and all. So then because you will also ask him, how are you? I'm fine. I'm maze mein hai. Aap kaise? Because that's what you will have to ask. Because that is the level of happiness. Once you have it, then only you will be able to interact. As Sadhu Vaswani used to say, you have to make God a partner every day. When you have to talk to him, and face to face, you should be able to talk to him. You have to make him a personal God, not necessarily impersonal God. You will not be able to imagine, because you see Nirakara, Nirguna, and all. It's all for Paramarthika, those who have reached that stage. Whereas when you are in Vyavaharika, because you should be able to get that. This is exactly Tvagreya, because Ekagraya Chinta, in the sense, look, because I will have to get that. Like, as you are stuff, because as you are pulled into the water and when you have to come out, you are coming so befuddled, you want to come out all of a sudden to get a sort of a whiff of air, to breathe. That much of a longing has to be there. It is not the longing of a casual type, because okay, because it's a AB chalta, not like that. Svagriya, Buddhaya, Suchmaya, Suchma Darshavihi. Buddhaya in the sense, it is not only the Ekagrata Chinta, it is also the Chitta Shuddha. Chitta Shuddha in the sense purified, because there is no sort of all conditionalities have gone. The Raga Dvesha is not there, likes, dislikes are not there, and because no transaction, because looking for something is not there, and because you are not doing no kamna, because there is no sort of a purposeful desire. The desire for God takes away all other desire. It's not that there is no desire. The desire for God will be there. Once the desire for God in the sense to realize your own potential, which has been hidden in you. You are capable of doing something much more than what you have done so far and what you are now. This is exactly because this is very, very important, not only for us, because for the students or those who are coming up in their life. If we hear, because certainly, it will propel them. Otherwise, you go in your own check dams, you are helpless. You will find 100 different reasons to say why I couldn't do it. I couldn't become a judge because at that point of time I wanted to go. The admission was there was only in one law college. You will give hundreds of alibis. If that is your intention, you are destined to, you would have done. But we try to find the excuses, because this happened, unfortunately at that time. There is no unfortunate. We are all fortunate all over. There is no word like unfortunate should come into us, because the grace of God is already there. But we will not be able to access that. This is exactly, because the people get disappointed very easily. And especially with nowadays being the jobs being at stake, the software and all, because you want that, I wanted this and I couldn't do that. I have been benched. All those things I have been hearing, because a lot of us are hearing. We don't know their problem because we have not lived their life. Because our experience can't define, what they are feeling and all. Their experience, it can't be understood by us because we have not gone through all the, because the problems they are undergoing, the mental turmoil they are undergoing, the industry what is there, what is valid today is not valid 2 months hence. Something else it comes. Now they are telling AA and other things. So many things are there. So therefore, this is for them. It is very important, because even if you think, because there is something, there is no other alternative. When you find, something, a feeling like that, then you are totally helpless. There is always a wonderful alternative available, but only thing is I will have to find it. I will find out. I will work on that. I will find out the self-confidence. The self-confidence will come. That is God awareness. The self-confidence that you will be able to pull through all troubles, whatever comes across, because that is the self-confidence that comes through only through the God awareness. It is not a foolhardiness. But then what you will do, you will also becoming deserving. So in the life what we are living, because one of our friends used to say, the Shankar also used to remember, one of our friends, Pradhan used to say, we should be deserving for what we have got. See, what we have got, we should, are we deserving that? Now we have to become deserving to have whatever we have, because once you have that, it is automatically takes you towards the God awareness. So this is where, because when we say, see these things, how it happens is it can happen by working on constantly. Self-confidence has to come when you know there is someone who will always be taken care of. When Vivekananda's family was in penury, when father is passed away, when he has to get his two sisters married, his brother was to be yet to be settled in life. When all these things come, finally it is, because he just talked to, he went to the temple, but he didn't ask for anything because there is nothing to be asked for. Finally, the things fell in place. How it fell in place? It is that what we call the God's grace. The God's grace has got two connotations. It is also called Maya, because in one philosophy like Advaita philosophy, till such time you are not able to realize the hidden thing, because the Maya, in the sense you are being clouded, the avidya, the wrong knowledge what you have got, your wrong perception what you have got. You have got a view of a life that is totally wrong. The life is something much more wonderful than what you think, because you are a wonderful being. It is not something different. You are not able to do that. So once you have that, because you will be getting that particular aspect of it. So therefore, because it says, That is why, when they see, when the Vyavaharika, when we have to talk to the God in the sense, because you may have a Ishtadevata, because some people say, I am going to a village, because every year they are going to a village. Some people go to some place, every year I am going to Tirupati and all. Okay, you will have a darshan and come back, that's all. But he is with you always. You don't have to go to Tirupati every year. Every day, every minute, he is with you. He is guiding you. He is giving you the impulses to you, instincts to you, so that you can gainfully and gloriously work on your way up. The way you have to do that and all. So once you have got that to do that, so this is because how to do that? How to do that? They're realizing that he is with me every time and all. When you are doing everything and all, never get a doubt as to someone will help you, because you will be able to help yourself. It is a self-help, sui generis. It will come out of you. You will have the potential, you will have the strength, and you will have the wherewithal to do it. And wherever you need the skill, you will be able to access the skill and develop. It is not that you need everything, but to be a judge, you should know law. It's not only law, you should know the niceties of law. All of us know the law, but we may not be able to interact in a court of law because there are niceties, the procedures are there. And then you will have to be, because you will have to be someone who can be considered, who can present the argument. Like that, it has to be there. So therefore, the niceties of our own being, the niceties of evolution, that will all come. That is what the grace. They're living like that, every day doing, because the Bhakti Marga gives that and all, because you are holding on to something, which is undetestable. You are holding just like a rock of Gibraltar, because it will not give you up in time. So that's why, some of the people, because one of the things always required is, because the scriptures and all those things, people learned pundits, they may be good, but as long as they are not able to have this quality of, getting into even getting the glimpses of, the presence of the God, and having the steadfast belief that he is there to look after everything, and they are also trying to equip themselves, they will still not be able to do the reading. But whereas the person who is not lettered, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was not a great, because Pandit. He was in a Gadadhara, because he was in the family tradition. He was doing a small puja of a small temple. That's all. But what he has got, because the direct, because the knowledge of the God, what he got, it is that directly, he has gotten simple, keeping himself simple and keeping himself accessible. And he was willing to, take whatever it is. He had a great belief. That's why even when we had, last week I said, he had the throat cancer, he was in utter delight because he had that bliss. Because what is happening to the body, because that is physically, that is what is happening in the world, will not be affecting you and all, because the pain is inevitable, but suffering is an option. And you will not be looking for the option, because whatever happens, because anything has come in this world will have to go. So even the disease has come, it will have to go. It is not going to be there forever. It will even if it is, it has to be there. Okay, I will endure it. But then I am getting the delight out of that, because, and finally he succumbed to the cancer and all. Okay, the body has to go, but the soul is permanent. Once you understand that, as we have said, na jayate na mriyate, when we said it is always permanent. It is going to take, and you are also going to get the collective wisdom. The birth after birth, when you have to encounter anything that's going to come with you, once you have that knowledge, and nothing else matters to you. So to get that knowledge only, drishyate tva agraya buddhaya sushmaya sushme darsibihi. Sushma darsibihi, in the sense, one who has gone to the level of total dedication and total chitta shuddhi, ekagraga. Once he is there, he gets into the highest level of being. In the sense, nothing matters to him. You will be able to live, even under the rains, and even a flooded, because the entire area is flooded, still you will be able to manage, and to take care of, not only yourself, and try to see, what is best. And even when you are in a landslide, or when you are, even there is a tsunami, you will be able to manage everything and all. Even if the ground under you slips now, you will be able to stand. That is Nirbhayatvam, what Shankaracharya talked about in Bhajagovindam. When the Bhajagovindam is said, Nirbhayatvam is said, Nirbhayatvam is not that you have to be afraid of anything at all. Nirbhayatvam, in the sense, at any point of time you are unagitated. There is something which is there to hold on. The consciousness there is to hold on. And once you know, you are such a divine being, you will be able to hold on to that. Once you have that, life will be a wonderful. Whatever be the situation, people are in the industry, people are in the professional life, people are in the normal walk of life also. Every time, they encounter everything, and every time they find, because there is some obstruction which has come into, they are spending their time to overcome that. You will be able to do that, effortlessly once you have that attitude, your self confidence. And sometimes you need to get some right person, right knowledge. Once you think of it, should I go, and automatically your intuition will guide you to that place. If you get to have an equipment, you will get to that place. If you have to get some skill, you will have to develop that. You will be taken to the right person. Everything will happen. It will be in the place. As Vivekananda himself has experienced, he had all the miserable situation. It all went off by, because it all went off its own way. Not that suddenly something phantasmagorical spectacle that has not happened. It has gone its own way, but it all went in a natural way, because you made yourself available to the natural course of things as ordained by the great person who has brought us here. Well, that is a God awareness. Once you have that steadfast belief that you've got someone always to carry on, and someone always is there with you, someone who's always there to, even in your sleep, he is with you, is working for you. So once you have that belief, nothing else will matters. This is what this 1.3.12 mantra has said, and we will also go for that, because this is not only that, it has got some philosophical aspect as well as practical aspect. Both we will see a little more in detail next session. But today I will conclude today's session with this, and today we will go for one suktam. That suktam is a wonderful suktam, though we have Hiranyagarbha suktam. Hiranyagarbha suktam is when the world was formed. We have seen already one suktam earlier. This is like a big bang, or when whatever world was formed. How the things would have been, how the primordial things would have been, how the formation would have been, how the entire species have come in. The entire thing is being done in, because envisaged and recited in Rig Veda. We are taking that suttam today. It's a small suttam. After this, we will go for this. Thank you. Today, I will conclude this session. Next week, we will have a very detailed analysis of this. Sahana avatu, sahana bunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahaihi, tejasvina vadidamastuma vishvidavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.